Hey, namaste, y'all. It's the White Magical Tiger. I hope you're having a beautiful day and may God bless all of y'all. Today, we're going to talk about pornography induced loneliness. Now, a lot of us hear about the pornography induced erectile dysfunction. And if you've never heard of that, it's something I've experienced and many young men have experienced as well, is that their body is so accustomed to the cycle of watching porn, masturbating to it, orgasming to it, that when it comes to a real life situation, they literally are physically unable to get an erection because their brain is so rewired to just only have a physical erection to videos, and that when it comes to a real life experience, it's not nearly as stimulating to the mind, and they literally can't get it up, and it causes a lot of anxiety, and it just makes things that much worse. and so along the same lines, we have pornography-induced loneliness, and I'm sure I'm not the only one that's experienced that, and it sucks, y'all. How many of y'all can relate to what I'm talking about with the loneliness? And I feel like a big reason why this happens is because we're watching this porn, and in my personal experience is that it made me kind of awkward. It made me socially awkward. It would cause anxiety and social anxiety, and man, I was definitely depressed and confused. It's just when it comes to social situations, I would act awkwardly and be kind of known as like the weird guy, and then in the future, people would be like, I'm not sure if we really want to invite him. He's a bit awkward. He's a bit weird. Um, and then it just kind of turns into loneliness. And I definitely became an outcast. Like the deeper I went into this pornography, the more of a social outcast I became. Not because I wanted to be one, just because it was difficult for me to fit in and kind of be normal and have a good time with other people, just because this pornography was just literally destroying my mind, like giving me real brain damage, that it made it difficult for me to just have normal human interactions without feeling complete anxiety and acting awkward and weird. And yeah, it absolutely sucked. It was torturous. But the silver lining is that I had to learn to cope with the loneliness. And fortunately, there is a solution, which is I'm going to offer to y'all. So meditation is the key. That's when my whole journey started to become better. That was the turning point. Meditation and prayer. Was more so the turning point because I started praying. And when I started praying, that's what led me to meditation. Now, I like to say that prayer is when we talk to God, and meditation is when God talks to us. It's like this two-way channel. And so we can pray to God, and then God can talk to us through the meditation where we kind of just be silent and just be still. Psalms 46:10, be still and know that I am God. And just be open to receiving from God. And I had a lot of intuitive knowings come, but a lot of healing as well. A lot of like the real brainwashing, where it's essentially like the light of God, the love of God is washing my mind. The healthy form of brainwashing, where it's like literally washing a dirty, dirty mind. Um, and so prayer and meditation were absolute game changers. And now in my day-to-day life, I spend probably more time alone, but this time I'm not lonely. And I would say loneliness is unhealthy, but aloneness is healthy. And if you add an extra L to the word alone, you get the word all one, and it's all oneness. And that's what I'm feeling. I just got out of a meditation this morning, and it was like 15 minutes, but I just felt that peacefulness. I just felt it. And I feel it right now as I'm talking to you. I can feel it. I can feel it in my heart center right here. And I'm just going to take that throughout my day to day. And that's something I did not experience in the past. But now I've learned from these yogis and these saints, and I've been implementing their prayer practices into my life, and it feels amazing, and it helps me enjoy being alone. because I realize now that I'm not alone. I've got God. Everywhere I go, I've got like a little portable paradise. There's a little portable paradise inside of me that I take wherever I go. And so it doesn't matter whether I'm with people or I'm not with people. I pretty much feel the same. I feel great in either scenario. And now that I am with people, I like to share this for the people that are interested. I love to share. I don't just share this with anybody, even though I do make YouTube's a video. There's that scripture says do not cast pearls before swine, because they're just going to chew them up and stomp on them. And I feel like a lot of the information I share on this YouTube channel are pearls of wisdom, just because it's what I've learned from other people. These are not my ideas. A lot of it I've picked up from other saints and yogis, and I resonate with them, and then I share them with y'all. And part of that's my duty from the book of Ezekiel, where it says, like, essentially God teaches us all this information. And if we don't take this information and share it with the brothers and sisters, then essentially the blood is on our hands. And it's more so has to do with like prophetic warnings. Like God's given me a lot of prophetic warnings, specifically around the like World War III and the state of the essentially the future for the United States. And it's my understanding that 2025 is when World War III will begin, and those are just the confirmations I've had, and that this is the last good year for America. 2024 is the last good year for America. And that's more like from what God is talking about in the book of Ezekiel, where essentially it's like, hey, I've given you this wisdom, I've shared this information with you. Now it's your responsibility to share this information with others, or their blood would be on my hands. And so that's part of what I do on this channel as well, is I talk about the prophetic warnings. I mean, reality. I mean, for those that have eyes to see and ears to hear, this is kind of a demonic fallen world right now. Like, I mean, I look up in the skies, and you fortunately don't see any right now, but normally there's chemtrails there every single day. I mean, this pool water right here, that's full of fluoride. In the tap waters, the drinking water, it's full of fluoride. The foods are full of glyphosate, like Roundup. They spray chemicals like pesticides, herbicides all over the food. And like essentially, if you look at it, like there's poison in the food, in the water, in the air. I mean, inside we got a television, and a lot of these Hollywood video, like TV shows, movies are just filthy. They're just filthy. Tons of foul language and tons of erotic sexual nudity. And my cousin and he likes basketball, and we were watching a basketball game last night, and even the commercials, like the commercials were very like sexually erotic, like just like showing like naked women, but like they're just like in a towel kind of thing. Multiple commercials, and it's pretty, like the commercials were pretty erotic. And all I'm saying, y'all, is that for those who have the eyes to see and the ears to hear, this is not normal. This is not normal. We're being bombarded by the air we breathe, by the food we eat, by the water we're drinking, by the stuff we watch with our eyes, by the stuff we listen to with our ears. We're being, even some of the stuff we touch, y'all. Like, I know those like receipts, even the receipts that we are handed for everything.
Things like plastics that have BPAs may be a concern. Drinking water may be a concern. But the most serious or enriched source of BPAs are things like printed receipts.
I was out for dinner the other night, and the server came over, and I reached for the receipt. And as I was going for it like this, one of the girls who I'd never met before hit my hand away. Like, are you really going to touch that? And this is the first time I've ever heard about this. Yeah. This is legit.
Yeah, printed receipts are a rich source of BPAs.
And topically, that could come through the skin?
Yeah, it could go transdermally. I mean, now, you'd probably have to handle a lot of receipts. It's going to vary. Some people are operating with a testosterone level and sperm count that's already back on its heels, so to speak. Some people have abundant testosterone and sperm. This is serious NIH-funded researcher saying phthalates before birth can dramatically alter the trajectory of the male's ability to make sperm and testosterone. So it's really going to depend on the individual. I don't think people should get paranoid or delusional about any of this.
Just don't start sleeping in a bed of receipts.
They have like this BPA something that like gets stuck on your fingers. Like even the stuff we're touching, it's now I'm not like a hypochondriac and like freaking out over this. I just make sure to pray over everything. And I guess I say all this to bring it back to the point of today's video, is that part of the reason we feel lonely is, well, we're being bombarded with chemicals as well, and that does not feel good. It does not have a positive effect on the mind. And so I would encourage y'all to not only pray and meditate, but also to get on a detox protocol. You got juice cleanses, you got water fasting, sauna, steam room, ice bath, grounding. Put your bare feet on the grass out here. Getting out into nature, reading uplifting books, parasite cleanse, drinking distilled water. I've made a handful of videos about the power of drinking distilled water. I'm even an advocate of urine therapy as well. And just getting on a deep detox protocol, buying organic food over the non-organic food when you can, and really making an effort to protect the vessel, to cleanse the vessel, detoxify the vessel, and that will help your mind as well, and ultimately help your well-being as well. And the biggest thing of all, though, is cutting out this porn. This porn is crap, and it's really affecting our minds negatively. And in my experience, it causes me to have a lot of social anxiety and not really act like myself, my true soul self, with confidence and with ease and just being peaceful. And that's what these prayers and meditations do, is the complete opposite, where it fills me with this just this inner peace that when I go anywhere, I just feel cool, calm, and collected. And I don't really need to impress anyone. I don't need to be jealous of anyone or anything. It's because I know I got God. I got the best thing on earth inside of me, and we all do. We all have God inside of us, but not all of us cultivate that relationship. And that's what I'm here to do, to encourage y'all to develop that relationship with God, because that's what's going to really make you succeed on this semen retention, brahmacharya, monk mode, nofap journey, is the power of God. Because it says Jesus Christ has the power to cast out demons because he holds the keys of hell and death. And so that's what I encourage y'all to do, is to develop a relationship with God. And I talk a lot about how I feel the reason why people struggle so much with stopping this pornography, masturbation, orgasm addiction is because they're demonically possessed. And I talk about sexually transmitted demons and how Jesus Christ has the ability to cast those demons out of you and then literally like liberate you, free you, so that you're no longer controlled by those intrusive thoughts. And if you ever think like why it's so hard for you to overcome this struggle, have you ever considered that you might be spiritually possessed with a demon that's feeding off your energy? Because that's what the case was in my experience. And then I had Jesus Christ cast those demons out of me, and it's called deliverance. He delivered me of those demons, and he brought me one step closer to the kingdom of God within me. And so I hope y'all found this video inspirational. I hope it helps you cope with any of those feelings of loneliness, and I hope you can get into a place of aloneness, all oneness. And you can be alone, sometimes people say like you can be in a whole group of people and still feel lonely, and the opposite is true too. You can be in front of a whole group of people and feel alone, all one. And so I'm encouraging y'all to cultivate that all oneness through the power of prayer and meditation and taking care of the vessel physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and creating essentially a whole lifestyle where it's kind of like a spiritual lifestyle. In Sanskrit, we got the word sadhana, and it means daily spiritual practice. And so I would say, what is your daily spiritual practice? And I've listed some of the things that I like to incorporate into my sadhana, because I hope maybe you'll find that useful as well. And it's just, most importantly, have fun with it. It's not meant to be super serious. I do these things because I enjoy them, not because it's like, oh, I got to do this. It's like, no, I enjoy it. I enjoy doing them, and I enjoy the way it makes me feel before, during, and afterwards. And sometimes, yeah, it's like that feeling where, you know, that hesitation where it's like, oh, I don't want to go on a run, but then you go running and afterwards you feel great. Sometimes it's like that. But once you get that snowball effect, with the snowball is getting bigger and bigger and bigger, that momentum just carries you forward, and it's just like, yeah, of course I'm going to do that, because like it's going to feel great. And it's better than going in the other direction where I don't do it, and then you get the opposite negative side effect of the snowball effect, where the snowball effect of bad habits. And it's much better to use the snowball effect to your benefit of good habits, because I feel like it can go the other way too, where real laziness can set in. And in my opinion, laziness is another demon. Maybe you're experiencing that. Maybe you needed to hear that right now. But you can cast these things out. You can rebuke these things in the name of Jesus Christ. You can go on YouTube and you can find deliverance videos for laziness, for pornography addiction, for food addiction, whatever it is, y'all. I just listened to one last night specifically for loneliness, and I'll put a little screenshot right here. It's from the YouTube channel, Noah Hines. He has a ministry, a deliverance ministry, and I listened to the video twice while I was meditating, and I could really feel real entities leaving me, these entities that have been in there for a long time, of rejection, of loneliness. And like Noah Hines says in his video, that like essentially these other demons can invite other ones in. And I've come to realize that almost everything in this reality is spiritual. And like even like sickness sometimes it is like a real sickness, but sometimes it's actually just a demonic possession. And once that demon's cast out of you, like it goes away. So all right, I try to keep this video short. All right. For y'all that want to chat with me, I'm opening a channel for donation-based phone calls, not a YouTube channel, but just like a communication channel. And so download the Telegram app. My username is White Magic Tiger. I'd love to chat with you. I'm doing donation-based phone calls. Yeah, I'm here for y'all. May God bless all y'all. Namaste.
God, Krishna, Christ, Guru. God, Krishna, Christ, Guru. God, Krishna, Christ, Guru. God, Krishna, Christ, Guru. I surrender to thee. I surrender to thee. I surrender to thee. I surrender to thee. God, Krishna, Christ, Gurus. God, Krishna, Christ, Gurus. God, Krishna, Christ, Gurus. God, Krishna, Christ, Gurus.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,